Hey, what's up everyone? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Ned B from the Obi-Wan Kenobi television series. So Ned B didn't really do a whole lot in the show. I mean, he was in a few scenes, but when I saw him, it's like, that's a cool looking droid. I love droids. I think he's going to look great on the shelf. And this is the first figure that I've gotten in the plastic-free packaging, and I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I missed the window already. But I think this is here to stay, so I guess I better get used to it. But the picture on the front does look pretty good. I mean, it's, it's a render, I'm sure. I'm curious if the figure looks exactly like this, or if there's some slight differences in the weathering. Who knows? But the picture looks pretty good. Star Wars The Black Series up top. Here we got Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ned B. On this side, you get plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Yeah. This shows you what you get inside. You get Ned B, an E5 blaster, his hammer, and his height here, 6.6 inches. So he's a big boy. Star Wars The Black Series up top. There's the side with the artwork. It looks good. It's a pretty good picture, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be the room that they were in. You know, they had that little tunnel, the little secret passageway. I'm guessing that's what that is, but it's a pretty cool picture, and this blue for Kenobi is absolutely gorgeous. On the top, there's no window. You get this cardboard hook, which is kind of weird, but yeah, just black. And on the bottom, you get the barcode, some logos, and all this teeny tiny print that no one looks at. And there's the back, same picture as the front, just more of it. You know, you can see his feet here. You get a synopsis of the television show in 5 different languages. Ned B's number 10 in this Kenobi line, then some warnings down there that no one looks at. So I'm just gonna unbox this right here on my desk. I'm just gonna scoot the keyboard back and we'll see how it's packaged, and then I'll take him in the other room and we'll get a better look at the figure and his accessories. All right, so let's get this guy open. I'm going to open it up from the bottom, and we'll see what we got. Let's see how this Joker is. There goes the little white paper that's in every single one of them. Okay. Okay. He looks like he just got out of the morgue. Okay. Yeah, this is all cardboard. Of course, this is cardboard. So up here, in this bag, I'll start with the accessories. That's kind of interesting. Get some scissors here. All right. Here we have the blaster. It's an E5. We've seen that before with the battle droid and with Padme, and yeah, pretty cool blaster. Yeah, I like it. And we have, oh, they're individually spaced. Okay. I need my scissors again. Of course, I could just tear this. It's just paper. Yeah, what am I doing? So I don't plan on saving this. Okay, there's the hammer. I love this hammer. I want one of these. Yeah, there's the hammer. And then in the last level, we have his backpack. And that is pretty cool. So that's oriented like that. Yeah, I got some Arabic writing. It seems like I read that on this one, it doesn't say Ned B, it says Ned 1. And on his chest up here, it says Ned W. And I'll confirm that again. But the backpack looks pretty cool. Okay, so there's the backpack. I don't need this at all. Now the paper, this paper is just plain old white paper. The paper that the figure's in, okay, so it is bound by this, okay, by these little cardboard things. Slice there, slice there. Cool. As opposed to just ripping the thing out. Okay, cardboard. And cardboard. This can go by, well, this can actually go in the recycle bucket. Good. I'll have to set that over there. Now, the figure is wrapped up in this paper. It's got Star Wars The Black Series on it. That is pretty neat. Pretty slick. Oh yeah. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. He's a little knock-kneed right out of the box. Just a little bit. But he looks pretty good. I can pivot the legs out a little bit. Pretty sweet looking figure. And that's, yeah, that's the packaging. Just paper in this cardboard tray. All right, let's take him in the other room and let's get a better look at him. All right, so here is Ned B, and he is yellow. He's very yellow. I kind of wish they would have flattened out the yellow a little bit, a slightly more muted tone. And it is the light, making him a little brighter than he actually is. If I bring him up a little bit, you can still see he's very yellow. This should have been a little more of a flat yellow instead of a bright yellow. And I can honestly say this is the first Black Series figure that I've gotten that actually looks and feels like a toy. It's like a big Tonka truck, right? But it's still pretty cool. I still like it. I think the sculpt is nice from head to toe. And I did fix the knock-knee look, okay? The knees were turned really funny in the box. So now he stands a little more like he should stand. So that was an easy fix. But let's take a look at him. Let's get a close look at his head. And I like it. The eyes look pretty good. Got some scuffs. What would be his ears, his audio receptors, I guess you could say, look great on both sides. Yeah, very nice. The scratches look pretty good. These little things on his mouth are bendy. Okay, you can bend those, so be careful. But the sculpt on the mouth is very nice. The neck is cool. Now, there's a few shots in the show where these little bits right there kind of looked silver. It would have been great if they would have painted those. I mean, it might be kind of easy to do. But yeah, these should be a little silver, but that's okay. The sculpt is there. The neck looks good. Back of the head looks like that. Got these two little nubbins up here. Got that little bit. Now, sadly, there is absolutely no weathering on the top of his head. It's okay. As far as chest, so this does say Ned W. right there. I did double check and translated that. It's Ned W. The actual Aurebesh W does not have this little bit on the end, but the W is a square, so it essentially says Ned W. But I don't know why. But the scratches here look pretty good. This is nice. Now this bit right there, that should have been outlined in gray. In the show, he had some gray around this. So that is unfortunate. They could have easily done that, but this is what we got. The blue looks good. I got a nice ding there. It looks pretty cool. The shoulders are nice. If you lift up this shoulder, you can see there's some nice little sculpted bits in there that look very good. Yeah, shoulder pads are a little bit flexible. That looks pretty good. The scratches look good. Same thing on this arm, but the detail's not quite as there. I mean, it's there, but not quite as pronounced. But it's kind of cool they took the time to sculpt something in there. The shoulder joint, there's some nice detail. Arms look cool. So you got clear joints on these elbows, which is kind of neat. We've seen this a lot lately, and I like it. That little bit of gray is nice. The stripes look good. Weathering on the arms, this little bit. Now the fingers look cool. Fingers are nicely sculpted. Sadly, it doesn't work with the blaster very well, and I'll show you that very soon, but the fingers do look good. I'm loving the blue on this side. Got this little sculpted bit there, which is very cool. Some good scratches, and this is more of a, like a gripping hand on this side for his hammer. The waist and crotch area, it's okay. Got some nice things sculpted in there. If you bend him back, he's got some goodies all up in there. This is pretty nice. Now the back, not too much going on in the back. This is pretty cool. Now, they scuffed up the butt plate. Okay, there's lots of scratches on the butt plate. That's all scuffed. The rest of his back, nothing. It's just yellow. I really wish they would have weathered the back of the arms. The back is forgivable because, you're going to have his backpack on, but they could have put some scratches and dings in here, the back of the legs. Yeah, they just did his butt. Yeah, kind of weird. But moving on, the legs are fine. Big old armored legs, droid legs. Scratches look pretty good. And then you got clear joints on the knees, which is very nice. Got a little bit of a little knee guard there, which is kind of neat. Scratches, and the feet look good. And this little bit of gray down here is very nice. And you have clear joints on the ankles, which is pretty cool. Yeah, from head to toe, it's a good looking figure for sure. I mean, it's yellow. It is yellow. They should have muted the yellow just a little bit, but it's fine. And if you want to compare the actual figure to the box art, it's close, okay? All the scratches and weathering right here are not here, okay? The scratches here are there. Scratches on the thighs, they match up pretty close, but the weathering in here is completely absent on here. So you could say that's a little misleading. But overall, it is a pretty cool figure, and I love droids. I love the look of this guy. Just a big old loader droid, and he is big. He is chunky. He stands up pretty well. Yeah, cool figure. So next, let's run through articulation on Ned B. So if you hold the neck still, there is a little bit of side to side at just the head, but the whole neck will also turn. And if you turn the head, he turns at this angle, which is kind of weird. I mean, you could sort of tip the head, but yeah, he turns his head this wacky angle, but it's okay. You've got some very good tilt, a little bit of down and a little bit of up. But yeah, the head turning is kind of strange. So these shoulder pads are pretty flexible, so that allows the arms to get up that far, and he does have some butterfly joints, and that is pretty cool. I love that. And of course, the arms can rotate all the way around. He's got single jointed elbows that get just about 90 in that direction and a little less than 90 going that way. So there's a swivel above the elbow joint as well as below the elbow joint. You've got some swivel at the wrist, but it's kind of blocked by this big plate back here. And there is wrist side to side, but you only get in, okay? You can't go out because of that. And it's the same thing on the left arm, swivel above the elbow, swivel below the elbow, as well as some in on the wrist joint. As far as midsection, you've got some swivel, you have some pretty good crunch, but it wants to spring right back up. There's some very good back and some excellent side to side tilt. The legs can get up that far. They can go out just to there. You've got a little bit of back. You have an upper thigh swivel. You have a swivel there's a swivel above the knee and below the knee joint. You've got single knees that get up that far in that direction, and he can hyperextend that much. Feet go down to there. They go up that far, and you've got some swivel at the ankle. So despite being a big old loader droid, the articulation's not too bad at all. And there's his backpack, and just like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this says Ned 1. Ned 1. And then they added this little bit beside the 1, but this is essentially a 1. It's not a B at all. Yeah. So you got Ned W and Ned 1. Okay. Whatever. This looks good. Same yellow. Got this little bit there, some gray. This little bit there looks pretty cool. Got some little things on the side. Got some holes there for the things on his back to plug into, which is pretty neat. The bottom of it looks pretty cool. Got a big old square peg, so this thing's not going anywhere. Yeah, it's a pretty cool backpack. I love this. And as far as putting this on him, that'll just go in there. And then these little bits on his back will plug in the sides. This is a really tight fit. Very tight backpack. It is not going anywhere. Okay, so those will plug in there. And that looks pretty cool. I love that. Yeah, that's what he looks like with the backpack on. And yeah, he is definitely staying just like this. Yeah, so once this is fully seated, you can see how snug that fits. I mean, that is right up against his back. And the fact that he is so chunky, the backpack is virtually hollow. It's not going to add any back weight to him. He's going to stand up every time. And here's a look at the E5 blaster that he comes with. And this is pretty cool. I mean, this is just like the one that comes with the battle droid, just minus the weathering. It's fine. The sculpt of it's very cool. That's what the other side looks like, just more of the same. Got a little bit of a extended mag there. Very cool blaster, but sadly his hand doesn't work well with it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So he has a trigger finger. He has like a thick, what would be his middle finger and then this finger and his thumb. So the sculpt of the blaster just does not jive with how they sculpted the hand. The shape of the thumb causes the blaster to be kicked in this direction. Okay, like that. They should have sculpted the hand to where the blaster is more straight, right here. It is unfortunate. Now, it could be just mine. Comment below if you're watching this video just for fun and you have this figure and your blaster fits a little better. But those fingers will not go through this massive trigger guard. The trigger finger doesn't come anywhere near up here, what would be the trigger. The thumb just runs into this extended mag. Yeah, he does not hold this blaster well. And it's unfortunate because it's a cool weapon. That's about all you can do with it. And in the show, Ned B fired this weapon with his left hand, but you can see the sculpt of the left hand. It's definitely not going to work with this. Yeah, this is like concrete. Very, very tight. Yeah, that's even worse. Yeah, that does not work because it would have been great to have him, be able to hold the hammer and the blaster. You can change him up. I mean, this looks like it would work, but it's this middle finger and the thumb just does not work with this weapon. So this weapon may just have to go in my box of accessories. It's unfortunate because I do love this blaster a lot. And last but not least, we have this big old hammer, and I want one of these. The closest thing I have to this is an 8-pound sledge, and of course some smaller hammers, but I want one like this. This is awesome. The head of it looks like it's been struck against something. Got some nice sculpt in there, it really looks like they've hit something with this hammer. All the sculpt in here, just really cool. Top of it looks like that. It's got a nice metal look to it, like it's made of steel or iron or whatever metal they use. The handle looks pretty cool. The handle almost looks like something that we have. It's very similar. Got some brown on the very bottom of it, just kind of neat. Some black, brown. This looks like some kind of either composite material or I don't know. It's just an awesome looking hammer. And if you want Ned to hold this, again, this left hand is like concrete and he can hold it at the bottom. If you slide it up here, it's going to slide around a little bit, but down here it is very tight and he looks very good holding that. Yeah, like he's about to bap something or go upside someone's head. Yeah, I would not want to be on the receiving end of a droid with a mallet. And even with this wacky trigger finger hand on the right, he can still hold it pretty well in that hand. And the way the elbows work, if you remember in the show when he was confronted by those 2 stormtroopers and he was hiding, quote unquote, hiding the hammer behind his back. Yeah, you can do that. But if you think about it, the 2 stormtroopers were talking to him. They could have easily seen the handle of this hammer, but it's a television show. But it is nice that you could do this with this elbow if you want to recreate that scene. But since the left hand is more of a gripping hand, I love the look of this. I'm going to go stick him on the shelf and let's see what he looks like there. And there we are. And just like I thought, this yellow just grabs your eye. He looks really good on the shelf. And you can see how much taller he is than Ben. He's almost the same height as Vader, but he is way taller than everyone else except for Chewie. Yeah, he is a big boy, but man, he does look good on the shelf. And in this light, the yellow's not as obnoxious. It's still a little more yellow than it needs to be, but I'm okay with it. But man, he is a cool looking droid. I love the look of him on the shelf. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this guy. So bottom line, I like this figure. I mean, yes, it's yellow. It is definitely yellow, but the weathering on the front looks great. The face, if you want to call it a face, looks nice. The eyes, the mouth, his little ears, all look really good. Backpack looks great. I do wish they would have dinged up the back, dirtied up the back of the arms, back of the legs. That would have been a really nice touch. But no, they decided just to do the plate over his butt, which is kind of strange. But it is what it is. But the figure still looks great. I love this hammer. The hammer's awesome. It's unfortunate the blaster doesn't really work well with him, but at least he has this big old hammer. You gotta love that. Yeah. It's a cool figure. I mean, it's a big old loader droid. You cannot go wrong with that. Yeah, pretty happy with this guy. But I want to hear from you guys. So please comment below and let me know what you think of Ned B from Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you enjoy videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please turn on notifications. I'd certainly appreciate it. And I just thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.